All right, awesome.
Hi.
I'm on the same side, so it is. Hey, we hit the goal. I know, right?
Yes, I went over and I was like, okay, marking it all, and then it was 17 students.
Mm-hmm.
I had nothing to do.
Uh-huh.
And then so the 4.0 is the average.
And these were the most common numbers
Yes.
like we did in the past?
Yeah, this is what we did.
Wow,
See?
look at that. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like no twos, right?
Yeah, well, some students, but not all of them.
Uh-huh.
Like, I knew she was gonna do that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but most of the other kids were engaged and doing what they needed to be doing,
Yeah,
which is awesome.
that's great. So, I think this is gonna be our last time this year, unless you, I think I'm gonna drop in and just observe again one more time.
Tuesday,
You wanted me
we
to
agree
come.
on that,
Yeah,
yes.
next week on Tuesday. So given that this is kind of maybe our last or second to last conversation, and, we've met the goal, I just wanted to talk about like what's gone well. Like, what are you happy with?
I'm happy with the kids evaluating themselves
Mm-hmm.
and me, and
Yeah.
they give me suggestions of what we can do better in class.
Uh-huh.
Like right now, even with the activity that we're doing with the cooking, they are giving me ideas of what to do next,
Mm-hmm.
what they would like to see, and most of them are saying we want to work more in groups,
Mm.
believe it or not.
Yeah. And that's kind of, they like to talk to each other, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
which is good.
yeah,
That's, well, it's student center,
Mhm.
so that's
Mhm.
what we wanted to do.
yeah. Oh, hey, I forgot your notes page. Do you wanna grab your journal again?
I don't
Sorry.
even, I think I left it home, to be honest with you. I'm a mess, I have stuff all over.
No,
I
my
got
office is
finals
the
at
same right now.
school. It's, I left it home.
That's okay.
I'll get another one, I have more. I have like 20,
Different journals, nice,
yes.
awesome. Yeah, so kids have worked well in groups. What else do you feel like has gone well?
Routines, getting used to things. We know what to do when we see a get one, or we know what's if I'm using the same formats, they'll know what to do now, they know, and they're
Mhm.
expected whenever people are presenting their anchor charts that are doing it online,
Mm-hmm.
they have to have questions, suggestions, and some people trust them, they found, and then they
Mhm.
can share with the group.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been slowly moving and adding more stuff to that.
Yeah. Anything else? So kids wanna work well in groups. I love that you are craving evaluation from kids about how to do the lesson better. That's really great. And these routines, what else is going well?
I don't know, I think that's it.
Yeah. So how do you wanna carry these practices forward?
Well, I want to take into consideration what they are saying about working,
Mm-hmm.
or what they would like to do in class,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, just keep working on Kagan,
Yeah. Yeah.
and trying to do things and trying new things with kids that are different each
Mhm.
time.
So you wanna keep working on it. Are there still roadblocks that you're running into, things that you wanna keep working on with these Kagan strategies?
It's just they not all work with the same kids in the same class period.
Mm.
So some work really well with some classes, but they don't work with others.
Mm.
So sometimes you have to adjust it even at the moment.
Yeah. How are you able to do that? Like, what are some of the ways that you're able to adjust in the moment, or how are you responding when they don't?
Well, I give them a try first, and if it's not working, I might just restrict it a little bit.
Uh-huh.
If it is, for example, get one, find different 5 partners.
Mm.
I'll have them do, and it's not working out because they're laughing or talking and not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sit them back,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll have them work with a partner right next to them.
Yeah, instead of having.
Instead of you walking around fiddling through the room.
Right.
It usually doesn't work when it's more like than 12, 15 kids.
Okay.
It becomes a mess. When
Mhm.
it's less kids, like my second or third, first period,
Yeah.
so I got 9 and 5,
Mm-hmm.
that works beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautifully, but
Yeah.
it doesn't work with the big classes.
So the size of the class is also just kind of these strategies, class size is a struggle, and it sounds like you're doing like some modifications that are working well, you know, like giving it a go, but then bringing it back. Cause this is one of your big classes, right? The one that you did
Yes.
this for, it's one of your larger classes.
I think that one it's 24 kids.
Yeah, and this is average of a 4 on the scale. That's a pretty high average, even though class size is still a roadblock. What are some other things you're running into besides not working well with all kids, class size? What are some other things that?
No, I think that's about it.
Yeah, well, I think I mean, you've been really successful with it so far, and like I really appreciate your energy around it. Like I think, you know, when we started this process, it was really difficult, right? And then like you've shown me a lot of like what it is to just take something for what it is and then put like all your energy into it, and it's been really powerful. Like I look forward to coming to your class every single week because of just the level of energy you have. So I guess my question is, since we met the goal, like how do you want to keep using these strategies into the future, and like do you want to keep working on this together? How do you want this to look?
Yes, I want to keep working this.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that is, I always taking it like if I need to improve in something, I will.
Mm-hmm.
So I will keep using this. I like the kids working
Mm-hmm.
with themselves, not
Yeah.
me. I don't like that. So yes, I will keep working on it.
So
There's new that I haven't tried. There are a lot of things that even though they're similar, I still haven't tried them. Like I haven't been able to do like a teen interview with them,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or I done the cards and done those, but they're like some of the ones that I have not tried.
Yeah.
You know, there's one that you fold down, the paper blind. I haven't done that one.
Okay. So if we're gonna keep using these into the future, and I know your other notebooks at home, so I just wanted to show you the checklist we came up with for Kagan strategies. So you said to make a Kagan strategy successful, you need to say what they have to do, then model it, then check to make sure they understand what the process is like, and then we have to practice patience because sometimes they're not very good at doing it the first time we tell them to, and then maintain and reset if necessary, which is kind of the strategy you just described, right? Of like, oh, this is a large class, the groups of 5 is not working, I'm gonna bring us back to tables, do groups of 2 to 3. Is there anything we wanna, as you kind of look into the future, what I just heard you say is like, I wanna do more variety. And that's not, you know, so if we're gonna keep working on this practice, another thing would be like, we wanna make sure we have a variety of strategies. Is there anything else you wanna kind of keep working on and refining with these Kagan strategies?
I think it just goes with along with the classes
Mm-hmm.
and my kids next year only.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't continue with the same students.
Yeah,
So it just depends.
yeah,
It depends on the size class, it depends on what grade they are, because juniors do not work the same as freshmen.
mm.
So there's a difference there.
Yeah, I'm almost hearing like next year I wanna work on these, like if I'm working on these from the beginning of the year, how do I introduce these to a new class and maybe different students who I haven't been working with all year, because we started this mid-year,
Yes.
right?
Well, towards the end.
Yeah.
I think next year I should start using them in the ones that I'm already managing and know
Mm-hmm.
what to do, how to do,
Mm-hmm.
and then slowly go introducing more, adding more stuff to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's like a range of complexity to them, right? Like some of them are easier and some of them are more complex. And so I think the beginning of the year, we start with those more routine-based, easy ones, turn and talk, those sorts, and move to the more complex
Yeah.
movement ones. So that's kind of just like if we were to look at the test checklist, you say you want to add variety, but sort of a sub-point to that is we have to move throughout the year from simple to complex forms of these. We can't just start next year
No.
off with cards probably, because that sounded like a pretty complex one, the cards, right?
I think it depends, it's all about routines, like circle maps have moved from what they were, a couple of words, keywords, to
Right.
whole ideas of what's happening and
Right.
taking notes and because they know what's expected.
Yeah.
So now they're like, well, this work is not gonna help me
Right.
when I need my notes.
Mhm.
So now they're taking bigger notes for
Mhm.
the thing that I was asking, so, or just adding columns to things.
Mhm.
Like the suggestion part that we were doing,
Mhm.
that's an add-on to what we're already doing because they already manage that.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to get boring and like,
Mhm.
oh, we always do the circle map this way.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to add new things all the time.
Yeah. So as I'm listening to you, I asked like, do you want to choose a new goal or do you want to continue to refine? And it sounds like the kind of key things you want to work on next year are variety in the Kagan strategies, but also making sure that we move from simple to complex in the way that we execute the Kagan strategies. Is that fair to say that that's
Yes.
kind of the emphasis we want to work on? Is there anything that, I think variety we could probably look at next week as kind of like the final round? Is there a new one that you want to try next week? Or do you want to refine one a little bit more? What do you think?
Remember we were talking about, well, I am gonna do a bunch, but I already did my lesson plan for
Yeah.
this week. They are gonna have to present their charts online,
Mhm.
and that's when we add in the suggestion part at the end.
Okay.
That's one. And the day that you're coming, they're doing a listening from Venezuela.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a circle map, and then they're gonna do guided questions, get one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try to do it, find those with, I think it's 6 questions, 6 different points.
Okay.
I don't want you to say, oh, I'm so confused, this is my friend, we're gonna do it together.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to find and write who you did it with.
And it has to be a different partner.
It has to be 5 people, 5 different people.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to see
Mhm.
if that will work with them.
Yeah, I can come in on the round robin day too if you want. If you would rather me, which one
It's
would
okay.
you rather me come in
I-
on? Because I'm not stuck on Tuesday.
I don't mind, Monday they're gonna start working, hold on, no, Monday they're doing an essay, which is gonna probably be part of homework.
Mm-hmm.
Then Tuesday we're doing the listening,
Mm-hmm.
then Wednesday, we are starting to work on the encore charts.
Okay, so probably
Wednesday,
Friday.
they might not be done Friday, they might be done Monday.
So the round robin would probably be next week sometime.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
come in Tuesday and do the listenings, you know.
I like doing the listening, it's practice
This
for my
one is from
Spanish.
Venezuela too, completely different Spanish.
Okay. So they're gonna do the listening, get one, and you said we're adding the component of hitting multiple partners instead
Yes.
of.
Instead of just one person.
Yeah, I like how you're like increasing, you're taking one, like a give one, get one that can be simple or complex, and you're like increasing the complexity over time. And I like how that one we started with this really simple kind of give one, get one at your table, and now you're trying to do give one, get one with multiple partners that not at your table, but they're used to the strategy now. So it's like that you're releasing it out.
They
So,
know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
They also know they can write sing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, that's not it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, so the plans are already done and I will come in. What do you want me specifically to be looking for just in terms of?
They give one, get one.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that we're all like keeping the kids working with different partners.
Okay,
Especially my table here.
yes, so kind of maintaining and resetting if necessary, the conversations. Okay, so I'm gonna look at just this next layer of complexity and how we're maintaining and resetting if necessary.
I think we're past to the point where kids are not saying, okay, what do you have on number 1? They're asking the question,
Right, yeah,
which is what I want them to do. What do you think of whatever
Mhm.
I'm asking,
mm-hmm.
instead of where you are number 1.
Okay.
So we're asking the question and answering incomplete sentences.
Mm.
And that's what I said I wanted to see when they're writing. I don't want to see 2 words. 2 words are not all the points. So now they're fighting for the points, which is good.
Mm-hmm. So, like the complexity of the answer and how they share,
Mhm.
right? And when you said how they share, you want them to share by not copying each other's papers.
By
but
talking.
By talking, so they have to have their papers up, right?
Well, if the other one, I just want them to say, I think, Venezuela, it's very nice what they're talking about. I'm just kidding you, whatever.
Right.
So this part of Maracaibo is really nice.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Anything you need time to copy, that's okay, but I want you to talk with
Right.
me. I don't want you to say, okay, there's You
Yeah.
write it and I say it over here.
Well, I'm almost wondering if that's the sort of, there's the one layer of complexity where you're having them go to a different piece of people, but now you're saying you can't copy. If you just say you have to bring a textbook with you and you can't set papers on the desk, I did that with Mr. Neufeld earlier in the year when he was doing the get one, and he just made a rule, no papers on desks. It's like you have to write up on a note, on your thing. That way it's harder to just put it down and copy and not have that conversation. They have to actually converse with each other. And then when you and I are working together with that class on Tuesday, when we hold people accountable, we're holding them to holding up the page and
I mean,
talking
that's
to
what
each
I wanna be with that specific class, and
Mhm.
I can do this with first and second,
other. Uh-huh. Okay.
fifth and sixth. My fourth period, you know how challenging
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're there yet. We can try it and see if it might work,
okay.
but we also might lose half of them.
And then have to kind of come
And
back.
have to come back and say, no, okay,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing.
Well, we can try to do it together. I'll be in here fourth hour and we can try to
We
just
can
co-teach
try.
it essentially, so that we've got two of us monitoring.
Yeah, we can try it and see if it will work. It's just, each table got their little talking
Mm-hmm.
machines.
Yeah, it's a push for them to get out of their comfort zone, because
Yeah.
they're really in their tables that class period. Okay, so I'm gonna just review one more time. So we're working on Kagan strategies. We
Mhm.
wanna continue to refine them even into next year. This year, we're working on just making the get one a little bit more complex.
Uh-huh,
We wanna make sure that they share by talking, not by copying.
mhm.
And we wanna make sure we hold them accountable to the new norms that we are setting here, which is you have to tell them, not copy them, and you have to meet with 5 people.
Yes, and I think this is how I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna have the question, I'm gonna have it written here,
Mm-hmm.
just because I don't want it to say, oh, tell me number one. So I'm
Right.
gonna have the question.
So they have to read
My
the
answer?
Mm-hmm.
My classmate's answer, and the name of my classmate.
Yeah.
So that way I can check that you got
Mhm.
5 different people.
Yep, cool. I really like this. I'm excited to co-teach it with you. And I like that even though we've met the goal, you want to continue to refine the practice that helped you reach the goal. I guess as a last question, we were shooting for a 3.5 average, right?
Mhm.
Do you wanna keep shooting for 3.5 or do you wanna change that goal now that you've hit 4?
I don't ever wanna go less than a 3.5, let's say
Mhm.
that.
Do we just kinda maintain the bar at 3.5?
I wanna maintain it that way, and if I get more, that's awesome, but I
Mhm.
don't wanna go less.
Okay, that sounds great. Cool, I'll see you on Tuesday, and like I said, this is always really exciting, and I left your thank you card upstairs, so I'm gonna go grab a thank you card, because I need to grab it. I'll be right back.
Okay.